Hey guys, ECRG here, and today we're going to do a video about how you can prioritize your workload. Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. Wanted to talk to you guys about how you can best prioritize your workload in clinical research. Now, this may be one of the more obvious videos that we've done, but I still feel like people need help prioritizing their workload in clinical research for a couple of reasons. One, because there's a lot of stuff coming at you when you first get in the field. You're probably going to be in a more entry-level role when you're first starting out. So you're going to not understand the terms. You're going to, not be used to organizing meetings, setting up agendas, doing meeting minutes, handling all these trackers, handling all these different responsibilities as an entry-level employee. So it's going to take some time before you really get proficient at your job. It's funny, my line manager told me it's going to take me a year before I get even good at my job, not even, let alone like excellent. And I didn't believe her at first. I was like, yeah, right. Like, I'm going to be good at 2 weeks or something, And that surely was not the case. She was pretty much dead on. It's going to take about a year, and you'll notice a significant improvement. I noticed I was much better from even you really can't compare day one because you're still getting used to the company. But even like month 3 or 4 to where I was at month 12, huge improvement. And I think obviously you'll notice the most improvement earlier on, and then after like year 2, year 3, year 4, your improvement will probably stagnate a little bit until you get to a much different role or a role with different responsibilities. But obviously you're going to have that adjustment time and the adjustment period for anything new that you do. So without further ado, for tips for prioritizing your workload, there are a few ways to go about this. I'm going to give you 3 of the tips that I follow when I'm trying to understand how I can best prioritize my workload. And the first one I follow is timing. So when tasks are assigned to you matters. So typically what I try and do is whichever one has the first due date, or whichever was first assigned to you is the one I try and knock out first. If they're staggered, if they're not all given to you at the same time, just go with that. Whichever one was given to you first, go ahead and knock that out, because you'll have had a head start on the other tasks and be able to do that faster. And so whichever one was given to you first, or whichever one is due first, I would go ahead and start with that one. So timing matters. Definitely you want to, make sure you're meeting all your deadlines, of course, but I would start with the one that was assigned to you first or has the earliest due date. Second, I would look at importance. So it's going to be hard for you earlier in your career to really understand which tasks are important and can hold off a little bit, or which ones need to be done immediately. For example, with the meeting minutes, I hate sending out meeting minutes late. I had to have them go out day up. I couldn't write them and then send them out the next day. I had to write them and send them out that same day, because that's how the timing worked. I gave the internal team 2 days to review them, and then I would have them do it for 2 days, and then I would finalize them after that, make sure everyone had their action items in, etc., etc. The timelines were very important to me because you're juggling multiple studies at one time, multiple sets of meeting minutes. So it was vital to me to have those timelines set in stone and have very little variation, if any, from those timelines. So if that's important to you, you want to make sure that that's set in stone and set in place there. Also, if you've got a big one that your manager keeps hounding you about and is like, hey, we need this done, this is very important, then obviously that's important, and you really need to focus on getting that one done. So that's how it's important. And obviously this will come through with experience. You'll be able to better anticipate when things are going to happen. You'll be able to anticipate what things need to be made. Like, for example, after when a study's first starting to come up, you'll have to make a study contact list. So everybody who's on the study and assigned to the study their information is gonna have to be uploaded into this list. So if you know early on, before your project manager even assigned you to that, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to do it. So you might as well just go ahead and do it, knock it out, get it done beforehand, impress your manager. And that's what really separates a good person, a good employee, from a not good employee, is the ability to anticipate what's coming ahead and act on it. So that's a major key tip right there, anticipation. But that's a good way to, help limit your timelines and really help, limit you going over timelines for things, because it's really going to get busy early on. So separate your things by importance. That's important. And the third tip I have for you today on how to prioritize your workload is simply ask. If you don't know how to best prioritize it, ask your manager, ask some of your other colleagues, like, hey, is this really important? Do I need to focus on this right now, or can it wait a little bit later for me to do? A lot of people you're gonna be working with, especially if you're entry level, are gonna be above you. They're gonna be more experienced than you, so they're really gonna understand the workflow of things and which things are more urgent than others. So if you just ask them, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to lend a helping hand and let you know which things you need to focus on immediately, which things you can wait on. So ask your manager, ask whoever you feel comfortable asking. Ask somebody else in your shoes, like, hey, like when you had to deal with this, how did you prioritize and deal with those tasks? So just to summarize, you've got timing, you've got the importance you can prioritize by, and you can always ask to see how things should be prioritized. And those are the 3 tips I have for you on how you can prioritize your workload in clinical research. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like down below. Hit that subscribe button, as always, the red subscribe button. And please drop a comment. If you have any other tips for prioritizing your workload, we would love to hear them. So drop those down in the comments. Email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any business inquiries, or you just want to reach out. Love doing interviews with people. Would love to do an interview with you if you are new to clinical research or been in the industry a long time. Love to get your perspective on things. I'd love to just have a talk with you about kind of the state of the union, state of clinical research as is, whatever you want to talk about. Would love to have you on the podcast and the show. So email us there at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Also, you can comment down below and or reach out whatever way you know how. So appreciate you guys listening. Stay tuned for another video soon. Take care.